Here we go again. So another episode of British Business with Matt Holland, and today this is a continuation, a part 2 of Monday's episode, where we're going to have a continue on talking to Jacob about his business. Charlie will share his thoughts as well. So yeah, we were just chatting off screen then a little bit about kind of the fakeness in business sometimes, how people, business owners aren't very honest.
Jacob was telling us he's booked a date.
That as well. Yeah. So let's start off with the date.
He's booked a date with another business owner.
Yeah. So I asked out another business owner on a date. He's called Sam, and I was just saying then I like to do these things because I like to be talking to other business owners, and I think in these mediums is the only way we really get to do it. But so I asked Sam out on a date, and then you sort of said, didn't you, Charlie? So yeah, well. You know, some people aren't too honest.
I'm not saying it's Sam. I'm not saying it's Sam.
No.
I'm not saying it's Sam. Sam might be
Sam. But it's like that was one thing I learned very early on last year. So a lot of my, it's mainly online, but I do a lot of pop-up shows at events, county fairs, horse trials, things like that. And, I quickly learned people will just waffle. And it's a couple of times, I'll be stood on the same row of other pop-up stands, and it's people not even selling the same stuff to me. And I'm like, oh, how have you gotten on today? Oh, yeah, we're doing amazing. We're doing this. And I've been like, I've been stood here all day. I have seen the flow of people. So why are you lying to me?
Yeah, bullshit. Just say it's shit. Just say it's shit.
Yeah.
Well, because we're British, we're too polite to call it bullshit.
Yeah. And again, you know what? You're absolutely right, because at no point have I said, mate, I've been stood here all day. I've just been, mate, that's brilliant. Well
done.
done.
Call him out on air.
Yeah, because we're just that, aren't we?
Yeah, and we are, I think. But what I would say is, over time, you become tired of the bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm at a point now where as I've said previously, and Jacob sent me this on WhatsApp, I don't fucking tolerate idiots, and that type of behaviour in me doesn't fly very well. I might go, oh yeah, that's nice, and then I'll just turn my back on you because I just can't. I can't deal with that bullshit where they're just chatting absolute garbage about themselves and the business. It's like, why fake? Why not just be honest and open?
Yeah.
And maybe it's like, I don't know, is it like a societal pressure where maybe it's to do with success or what people define as success? That's another thing.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, the need, the people having the kind of, they feel the need to lie about where they're at in life. It's just like, why not just be honest? If it's
honest, to be happy for other people as well.
Yeah,
that one grates me. That does. We see so many fantastic businesses come through our door, and I would listen to them for ages, just talking about how, just talk to me honestly. That some of them are doing really, really well, and they're doing some great stuff, and I bloody love seeing it. I love it. Yeah. If they grow and they're successful, we grow with them. As long as we can keep that relationship going and do a good job, we grow with them. But so often, people are just so belittling of other people. They're jealous. They hate the fact that other people are successful. They just can't be honest with themselves and honest with everyone else about how they're doing. And do you know what? It fucks me right off.
It's quite sad. It is quite sad. I think it's a cultural problem with the UK, actually, but we won't get into.
I think that's a social media thing of people just wanting it. They want it to look all nice and rosy out here, when in actual fact, behind the door. But we'll move on. But
that's where you've been quite, Jacob. I think that's where you've been quite good with the Wednesday waffle, though. Going back to we talked about the marketing stuff being really, really impressive. We try and do a bit of behind the scenes. There's probably a little bit too much humour involved in ours, but when you're talking to camera, explaining what's been going on, it's really relatable, but also it's really honest and really genuine. Yeah, and there's a lot to be said for that sort of thing. There's a lot to be said for that.
So listen, Jacob, before you respond, just to loop people in that are listening, if you're checking on this episode, I would recommend listening to the last episode from Monday. And a bit of a recap. Jacob sells British-made, 100% British-made premium smocks. And the business is called Lockwood Premium British Smocks. Is that correct, Jacob?
That is absolutely right.
Yeah. So that's who Jacob is. That's what he does. I think the product really matters to me and hopefully everyone listening, because I think we in this country, we need to support ourselves. We need to be passionate about what we do. And I think there's been a significant decline in this country of industry over the last 30 years. And some of it you can't change. We're not going to necessarily be able to change the globalized world, but you can buy smarter, you can buy a higher quality product. And I think Jacob's gear is quite interesting. His story is quite interesting. So check Monday's episode out first, then come back and listen to this one. I think, and also Jacob's had a really hard route. I think it's not been easy what he's done so far, and it's not going to be easy either. And I think a lot of people listening to this podcast and other British business podcasts, we're looking to hear a bit of reassurance that it's hard for everyone. And I think I would say anyway, it's not easy. And I know for a fact Charlie and Jacob would agree. So to just zone it in a little bit so that people can get a bit of value as to kind of where we're at. And we touched a little bit on Jacob's marketing and what you've been doing. Wednesday Waffle last week. So if you go on Jacob's Instagram, just type in Lockwood Smocks on Instagram or on YouTube, actually.
Yeah. YouTube is where all the episodes are uploaded to weekly.
Exactly. So you can go on there and you can check out every week he puts an episode on where it's basically a hangout on video where he just talks about his week and tells it honestly how it is. So check that out. But Jacob, last Wednesday, I messaged you and I think I sent you a bit of a cheesy WhatsApp message, something about diamonds and pressure. And all the rest of it. Well, actually, I sent it on Thursday night because that's when I watched it. I always watch it on YouTube because I sometimes don't get a chance to tune in live. It was a hard week for you last week.
Oh my God!
And I think if you're comfortable sharing, I'd like to share a little bit of a challenge because people need to know that because it's not all sunshine and fucking rainbows in business. It's hard and it impacts everything in your life.
Yeah. So I mean, and you know, I read that email 5 minutes before going on, and that was a bloody difficult one for me. So basically, I'm leaving the military, as you well know. I'm currently in a military rented house. My house, which I bought many years ago with the Army's help, is currently being sold, and I'm buying another one. So just going back slightly, Christmas Eve, my mortgage advisor got hold of me and says, we can't get your mortgage. And I was like, well, what does that mean? He's like, well, we can't get your mortgage because you've got really bad credit. And the reason I've got really bad credit is I have bootstrapped this myself, overdrafts, credit cards, personal loans. So as you can imagine, my borrowing is flipping astronomical because I haven't
just go on. Just to cut you off there, and I think just take a note of that. That is pretty all in, pretty gnarly,
big
pretty
stuff.
Ballsy.
Yeah.
But what I would say, have you done anything like that, Charlie?
I think we're still doing it now, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
There's been periods where I've taken no wage out of the business. It's been pretty gnarly. I've borrowed money personally to cover my personal expenditure, my nursery bills or whatever it might be.
My Greg's meal deal got rejected on my card today.
Oh my God. It's
Listen,
real.
I'll send you that
it's February the 2nd. But anyway, it's not all about me.
Yeah. It's real though.
How's that for honesty?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not easy, is it, mate? And no. I think just to take a moment on that for people to appreciate, but for us to appreciate what we're doing because it is so risky and hard. So you've put everything on the line, Jacob. So you've borrowed money, overdrafts, and you put it all in the business.
Yeah. So then, I spent all of Christmas, and I sort of said to it, my fiance just walked past the door there, and I didn't share that information with her that we couldn't get a mortgage because I didn't want her to carry that over Christmas, and it was bloody rough. And then beginning of January, on the 5th, we got a mortgage offer in principle. So we went, found a house, put an offer in, they accepted. They only chose us because of how fast we can move, etc., etc., etc. And then Wednesday, I walked through the door, stood right there, opened my phone as I was about to start getting set up. And it was an email from the mortgage advisor. Your mortgage offer has been revoked due to bad account management. And I was like, what does this mean? He's like, well, we can't get your mortgage. So straight away I was like, right, well, I'm getting evicted from this house in September. My house is being sold, and I cannot get another mortgage. And I was like, I mean, flipping it, come hell or high water, I will make it work. But to have that like bombshell hit and then go on camera, and I was just like, yeah, it's going to be a difficult one. But I'm tell you what's been going on. That is, but I'm going to cut it short because I'm not feeling great, to be honest. But it's this life ain't for everyone, and it's either shut up, go back to your normal job, and stop whinging about it, or get on with it. And I'm sure I'm not the first, and I won't be the last person to be in the situation that I'm in right now.
Well, I've literally just had a WhatsApp message pop up on my screen from someone that me and Charlie know, who've literally just said, celebration, £10,000 overdraft approved. So what timing, amazing. But like that person is all in on their business. Like they're giving it a go. Like, I mean, the timing of that is remarkable, but it's fucking hard, isn't it? And also, like, you don't get a thank you from HMRC or Rachel Thieves for doing all of this. Like, they go, where's my 25% cut of your profit? Thank you very much, because we took all that risk. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems imbalanced at the moment. But other people who aren't business owners, they don't understand what you do and what you go through. It's not easy, mate.
Everyone thinks you run your own business, you're automatically a millionaire.
Yeah, I mean, if that was the case,
you work for yourself, so you must have some money.
Yeah, I mean, the flip side of it does come good eventually. Like, I'm in a very fortunate position now, and like things are stable for me. I've been able to take a bit of money out of the business this year. Like, we're in a very good situation. But fuck me, have I been on the fucking rack? Oh my god! Like, I've got scars that you don't want. Like, it's not been easy. It's not been easy, and it. Yeah.
It is that, but it's peaks and troughs. But January we had our best sales on record ever. Now it's clearly nowhere near what you geezers will be taking in, but it's for us like.
Oh, it'll be more than me.
I mean, although like my personal life is slightly falling apart at the moment, the business side, we had our best month on record. So it's
amazing.
It is now starting to pay off, and I'm sure once I stabilise and pay my debts off, I'll think of another bloody marvellous idea how to put myself straight back in the same situation again.
Jacob, do you carry on just ploughing straight through? Because you're a very energetic guy.
Yeah. I honestly.
Does it ever knock you to the point where you think, what the fuck am I doing?
Well, Wednesday last week, like
did it knock you to that point, or was it like I'm angry for now, I'm pissed off, can't quite focus so much, but look, I'll get over it and I'll go again.
Yeah, so I say to myself, when something big and bad happens, you can have 20 minutes. That's it. That's all you're allowed. You can have 20 minutes and you can lick your wounds. After that, right, sort your shit out. Pardon my language. Sort your stuff out. Work out what is the plan, what is the primary, what's the secondary, what's the alternative, how do we fix this, and then just move. Because if you I find if I just sit there wallowing and feeling sorry for myself, nothing happens. I can sit here being upset with myself, but I ain't going to do anything, is it? So have me 20 minutes and then move on.
I think that's really important. Actually, you should allow yourself to have a little bit of a paddy and a whinge internally or with people close to you. Like, there's been, I'm sure I've rang you, Charlie, and said, "Oh, I fucking feel depressed, mate. I feel fucking miserable." Like, not loads of times, man. Every day. No, but I've had those conversations with Charlie. Like, mate, I'm not feeling it at the minute, and it's okay to be like that. But the key thing is, and this is what I think separates. Maybe business owners from the rest of society is we're pretty determined. We pick ourselves up, dust ourselves up, and just get on with it and eat the shit. That's the reality of it. I think that's definitely a trait that Jacob has. He can eat shit because he's definitely eating shit at times. It's not easy, definitely.
Yeah, listen, I mean, oh, sorry, go on.
No, go on, Jacob.
I was just going to say, it's like, you know, and you know this, Matt, it's like last year, you know, I fell into the habit of self-medicating through drink quite a lot. And one of the things I set myself this year was, right, I'm just going to, that's it, I'll have a hard stop, middle of February, I'll have Valentine's Day, and I can go and have a couple of pints then. And the clarity that has given me to just be like, right, we're just not drinking anymore. And it's whereas before I'd have me 20 minutes and then be like, right, okay, but I'd polish that off with, you know, 6 or 8 bloody pints. Whereas now the clarity I've got from just being like, no, we can have a couple of drinks on Valentine's week and that's it. And then the next one will be your wedding. But we've cancelled our Valentine's Day plans because we're going to an event now. But it's the clarity that has given me is just, I cannot recommend it enough. If, you know, people listening, if you tend to, you know, reach for a couple of glasses, just cut it for a bit and let that mental clarity just come through.
Well, I think when you've got stress and pressure and you've got things on your shoulder, people tend to do lots of different things. Like I've definitely drank too much in the past. I'm teetotal now, but I definitely use that as a stress ball at times. And I think now probably I overeat it. But it's good to have some. Why are you laughing, Charlie?
I thought it was the camera. That was all.
Yeah. I'll tell you something that I did. I was mega impressed with Jacob on, actually, which I thought was great. Which it was a bit hardcore, but I thought it was mega. Jacob went for a run at just before midnight, so he started he started 2026 out running at 5 minutes past midnight. Now, Charlie, how legit is that?
That's pretty good. That is impressive.
Yeah.
For a man that runs a lot, for a man that runs a lot like myself.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But for me, that was a symbolic thing.
Yeah. I liked that, mate. Listen, let's just try and zone it back in because that was a good little natter, but to focus it a bit more in on the business and what have you. So
cool.
Right now, you've got UK manufacturing. You're leaving the army in the next couple of months. Yeah. Where do you want? Where like the business is over here right now? Where do you want it to be in 12 months' time? What kind of goals have you set for 2026? How do you want to finish the year?
Yeah, so I set a revenue goal by June that I wanted to be at, and we missed that by just over $2,000 in January. So we're bloody ahead. So I want to hit that in February. And I suppose it's, you know, I had a certain target of yearly revenue I wanted to hit. I think even if we just stayed exactly still, we will smash that goal. I'd like to be able to take away from the business, and I'd like Ruth to also be able to not have to work. Basically, by the end of this year, I want both of us to be fully working in the business without having to do anything else to subsidise it.
So you want to go full time on it, basically, because what I would say for people listening, Jacob's been working full time in the army and running this business.
And
I don't know how you've done it. Absolute madness. Oh, Charlie's gone. Bless him.
Popped off.
Well, I'm sure he'll rejoin us in a second. Bless him.
Yeah.
Let me just ping him a message. But I mean, let me just send a message.
We can immediately cut back in when he comes, can't we?
Yeah, we'll probably just leave it running, to be honest with you. What was I saying? We'll carry on recording for now, but I think the show must go on, they say.
Yeah. But no, so by the end of this year, where do I want to be? We were saying, isn't it? And it's both being able to be full time in the business, because what I've learned while I was up in Scotland, it was quite low drag the last 2 months, and what I realised was how much I could get done. I got myself a little office set up in the reservist centre we were working out of, and how productive I found myself to be, not being pulled sideways by the military, you know, doing daft stuff.
Well, I'm excited to see what you can achieve this year when you're kind of unshackled in the next couple of months. Because Charlie's in the lobby. Let's let him back in. Hopefully he'll rejoin. Here he is. Charlie's got. Are you here, Charlie? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm right. I need to close a couple of other browsers, I think.
We just decided to carry on recording, mate. So you're straight in the recording. The show must go on, they say.
Absolutely.
So we were just saying how. Well, actually, you can listen to the episode, can't you? After you can catch up on that bit that we discussed about it. But
another view.
Jacob's about to be unshackled. He's going full-time pro in the business as soon as he leaves the army. You're going to have a bit of a transitional period where they will support you. Is that right? Or is there it's like a phasing out?
So I'm on what is called resettlement leave. So I saved a lot of my annual leave. That gets bolted on, and then you get a certain amount of paid leave days, and that's basically the period that I'm in now. Right. But and I'd had some other, because I basically was away for 2 months, we allocated up some extra leave there. So my last paycheck is in June. So I need to be, and I worked it out that if I can hit a certain target by June, I can pay myself close to the wage I was on in the military straight away. And like I said, we almost hit that this month, which is just mental.
Because
which I wasn't expecting.
You're a good profitable business, but like any small business, you're in that phase where cash flow is challenging, where you've got to fund the beast, and especially if it's growing, it requires even more cash than what you currently have. So you've kind of got to fight that, and at the same time take a bit out to put some food on the table, so you're not just eating baked beans on toast. So it's not easy, or bread and butter if you can't afford a toaster. But it's definitely not easy. I mean, just so big challenges at the moment for you: cash flow. I think getting customers isn't too much of a challenge because I think you're doing a great job on marketing the business. I think the main challenge is cash and stock, as you started to say. How are you going to?
Go on.
How are you going to try and plug those two this year in terms of the stock bit? Like, are you trying to forecast a bit better? Like, how are you?
Well, a massive win really was getting, first of all, discovering something called inventory financing. And then once I heard that term, worked out what the hell it was, and then I've actually managed. So it's basically just a big overdraft. And that has, where we were quite stagnated. I'm getting a bit of echo. Is any of you getting that?
Yeah, we can hear that. It's Charlie's mic.
Right. Oh no. Yeah,
Charlie, can you mute yourself for a minute?
Did this happen before?
I've muted Charlie.
Right. But yeah, no. So it's what that inventory financing has enabled me to do is basically just get going again. So I'd hit a bit of a snag where we were having holes in stock, in that some sizes were sold out in certain things, and it was really, I just didn't want to spend money on marketing and just basically send people to an empty shop. So I was kind of just, right, we're stuck here now. There's nothing really we can do until we can get some funding in to restock, to get going again. And by getting that inventory financing, we are flipping going hell for leather. We've now got all of our show deposits paid, and now the next person in line to get paid, finally, it's been 15 months I've been at the back of the queue. I am now at the front of the queue to be paid out all the money that the bloody business owes me. So it's, right now I'm in a sort of business high period, and I think, what crocodiles do I see coming up the river? Basically just keeping the ball rolling with anticipating stock sizing, anticipating what will do well next winter, anticipating what will do well in the summer. So I've got quite an exciting range planned. It's coined the secret project, but You've heard it here first. It's going to be called the Harlequin range, but what that is remains to be seen.
That's quite exciting, actually, mate. The fact that, I like that. So, why Harlequin? Out of interest,
the range is going to be called the British Harlequin, but I don't want to say any more than that. I mean, that is genuinely the first time that has been said in public.
Well, there we are. Well, if those 3 people that listen to this podcast, I'm sure it'll remain top secret. Don't worry too much. Looks like Charlie's having some technical issues. Bless him, he's left again. Maybe he'll be. We'll let him back in. There we go. Yeah. So planning your stock, planning your cash flow is going to be hard work. What are the main things that you're going to focus on in terms of like operations, in terms of like picking, packing, and stacking? Have you thought a little bit about that and how you're going to try and improve that? 'Cause you're an online retailer, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose we've just now this month had to register for VAT. Although we were looking like we might have been able to sneak underneath it for a couple of months, January it pushed us over the edge. So working out how to do that, and I price forecasted all of my products, and my prices aren't going to increase because I pre-planned for that, but it's adjusting in sorting that out. My cash flowing has really been opening up, and then sort of what you said about having an inventory order forecast, and it's just really working on, I suppose, where I've been fixing all the issues in the business the last sort of 6 months or so. Now I've finally got the business into a good place. It's making money. And where I've been neglecting my personal life so much, now it's like, right, get my personal debts in order, get a house secured, and then, then the business and my personal life can grow together. Because one thing I learned when I was in Scotland, having a set out workspace. I mean, I moved into a room with 3 lads and I was like, right, you 2 are over that end, I'm taking this far end. And I set up my dream workspace. And it was how quick I got at processing, packing, having my own little work area set out. Because when I'm here, I have to go to my bloody storage unit and do it all.
Yeah.
So it's understanding how quick and slick I can get it when I'm in a good space.
Yeah.
And getting that good space is only going to come from getting this house that we've got the offer accepted on. And it is perfect. We've got a flipping brilliant garage, storage in the house, and that will just streamline everything.
So really, actually, this year, as much as you want revenue to grow and things like that, you want some stability as well, and you want to basically systemize a little bit and get things settled in.
Yeah.
This year, you're effectively in your first. Once you guys become yourself, and what's your partner called? Sorry, Jacob.
Ruth. Or Little Ears, because she's got little ears.
We'll call little ears for now. Charlie's laughing.
You like that, Charlie, didn't
you? Shall we unmute you for a second, Charlie?
Yeah. See, we still got the feedback. Any good?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah,
I could just hear a little bit of an echo, but it's gone now.
Yeah, it's gone now. But yeah, so Little Ears, you and her, you need to have a bit of income for the business, but it's like the business will have to adjust to that. That's the challenge. And like the problem is that I think sometimes businesses, and to manage your expectations slightly, you might not end up taking out everything that you want to this next 12 months because you're going to probably have to make it work at times, and it'll come in peaks and troughs. You'll have good months and bad months, and you'll have different challenges. Me and Charlie know that very well. It's up and down, to say the least. Just conscious of time, and I wanted to ask you. Well, before I ask a couple more questions, Charlie, is there anything particularly that's like, you want to share or ask a question to Jacob on the business?
Oh, I think it was covered off. I did make a note here. I listened to your episode on James Sinclair's business broadcast. You talked then about you needed £150,000, was it, you reckoned?
Yeah, well, to hit an MOQ of all my lines, at the time I needed 138 grand. And then I've basically gone back to my manufacturer and just said to him, look, if you want to keep me as a customer, you know, I will be loyal to you, but you need to bloody help me right now because I can't hit them MOQs. And if you can't meet me in the middle with the MOQs, I'm going to have to find someone else that will. And he's changed his tune very much so. And, you know, the guy bends over backwards to bloody help me.
Those guys that
he really does.
The guys that Jacob's working with, I mean, we probably don't want to name them in case some competitor comes in and swipes them, but I know of them, and they've got a very good, reasonable reputation. They're good people, family-run business as well. But they've got their business to run, and they've got their own challenges, and it won't be easy for them either.
You know, payroll comes round every Friday for them, whereas in December they helped me out a lot. When I was struggling because I'd been screwed over by a media agency, I went to him. I was like, "Look, mate," and he just says, "Look, we're good at the minute. I'll give you some breathing room." And then just last week, he rang me. He says, "Look, you know, we helped over Christmas, but I'm ringing to ask you for help now. We're a couple of grand short for payroll. Can you pay the other part of the deposit?" And I says, mate, yeah, I can. And then what has he done from helping him out? He's got my order and it's going to be ready next week. Because I helped him out, he put my stuff to the front of the line and now it's delivered like a month early.
Well, you reap what you sow in business, I think. If you're good and you help other people when you can, because you can't always help other people, it often bounces back to you 100%. Is there anything else, Charlie, off your end? Because I've got one last question.
No, not from me. Go for it.
I suppose for me, Jacob, like, this is something I think about a lot. But we spoke a little bit about the next 12 months. But where do you think what level do you think the brand can achieve in the next 5 years or even 10 years? Like, where do you think it's going to be? Because I think it'd be really good for you to set out what you think it's going to look like in 5 years' time, and then it'd be cool to come back and get you back on at some point in the future.
Yeah, I know exactly where I want to go. You know, I look at them. Oh my God, the glasses have just come off. This is you've really
lit a fire. We have lit a fire.
You've got me businessly aroused right now. So I look. I often say that I am sort of the business love child of two companies within similar sort of spaces, and one of them is it's a double-barreled country fashion brand. It's a name very similar to your last name, Matt, but with something else added on the end that's similar to a British car company. But anyway,
Holland Cooper.
I didn't know whether we could
just say it, mate. It's fine.
Right,
I'm not
I look at what Holland Cooper has done. Jade, in
She's
particular,
amazing.
what Jade, she has left a trail of flipping bodies behind her, and she has done a flipping fantastic, ruthless job. And she's done that in 12 years.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And it's, I think they're turning like 40 million a year. And so she put a video up around Christmas time of this new like 70,000 square foot warehouse, bespoke built offices. And when I was last at the factory the other week with Pav and his dad came out and was like, come in, I want to show you. I was like, Suki, come in, I want to show you this. And I showed them the video, and then I looked out their window because there's a unit opposite that's just shut down. Basically, when the last budget come up, they shut down like 2 weeks later. So I think they must have just thought, well, we're going to be screwed, so they shut down. The place next door is empty. There's another empty unit down the thing, and I said to both of them, I was like, honestly, you have bloody helped me out these last couple of months, and I can't thank you enough for it. And I'm telling you, you keep helping me like this, that unit there, and all them down the road, you are going to be able to fill with staff to make Lockwood premium British smocks. And we're going to turn Houghton Street into an absolute thriving area again if you just keep helping me out in these early days.
And Just tell us a little bit about that area of Birmingham as well, because it's in Birmingham, isn't it? It's where you are.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's technically Black Country,
Yeah,
but it's just over the M6. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's not a flashy area by any way, shape, or form. You know, it's the East Midlands, it's Birmingham. It's a bit rough around the edges, but it's when I probably the second. Go on, sorry.
I just wanted to say it's proper Britain. That's what I wanted to say.
Oh my God, yeah, salt of the earth, man. I remember it was probably the second or third time I went up there, and Pav took me up the road that was basically it's all derelict factories either side, and I was just about to leave. He says, "Jacob, can I just take you for a quick drive somewhere?" Because by this point, I'd spent a couple of hours with him because I'd been up there a couple of times now, and I was like, yeah. So he drove me up this street and he says, Jacob, you know, I haven't met anybody like you in a long, long time, if ever, that's got the passion that you have. And when I was a young kid, this was all manufacturing. Every side of this street, Rolfe Street it's called, Street in Birmingham. And he says every single one of these was full of manufacturing. I think what you're doing, you could have a street like this. You could have these factories back going again. And it's, you know, that for me, that is genuinely like, you know, I've already managed to convince one other clothing company to go fully British made. It's a guy, a bit like how you talk to me, Matt, and help me out. I do the exact same thing with Ewan. And then there's another company that I've got my eye on. And well, there's two other companies. And it's because by the time they've paid the shipping and the lead times and everything, it's like I keep trying to picture them. I'm like, it really wouldn't be that much more, and you'd get it in a couple of weeks rather than a couple of months.
Well, that was my point. That was my point earlier on about kind of there is pros and cons, definitely. Fascinating. Yeah. What a fascinating vision. Because it's a vision, and that's how businesses start out. Is they start out with a great idea, and then it evolves. And that vision that you're talking about there, it will change over time. I mean,
and it's just getting myself to being, you know, if Through Dark is like ultimate outdoor function, you know, we will go up Everest and flipping fight the Nazis up there kind of kit. Yeah. Holland Cooper is very much high fashion. You know, it's just high fashion, high quality. Whereas I want to be somewhere in the middle, but like staunchly only British made. Whereas, you know, both of them companies, it's kind of made all over the world. You know, and there are bits made in Britain, and you know, I think well, Through Dark there are lots of stuff. But I want to be as big as them, but slap bang in the middle of them. Function, high fashion, British made.
Yeah, I think it might happen, mate. It might happen if you don't. The thing is, if you don't quit, do you know what I mean? Like, it's got to happen at some point. That's the beauty of it.
There's only one person on planet Earth that can stop me from doing it, and that is me. You know, everything else is just that, isn't it? It's, you know, it's you wake up. How hard do you want to work today? Well, do you want to win or not? Yes or no? Okay, right, 100% it is then.
Well, listen, I'm not going to ask the ChatGPT question of the week because I feel like my question to you there was pretty good and it was better than what ChatGPT suggested. So I'm not going to ruin the moment with something quick to close on because I think that vision was nice. It was pop. Yeah. And I think why not? You've got to dream big, haven't you? Because otherwise, what's the point? What is the point in just aiming for average? You want to strive on. You want to do more. If you've got a little business, bigger isn't always better, but a small business can be great. It doesn't necessarily need to be revenue. It can be processes, systems. It can be what it looks like. It can be what it feels like. It can be your coffee shop can be the best coffee shop. Like what I just think we should all aspire to do better with what we're doing. I think I'm passionate about that. And I mean, Charlie, have you got any closing questions for Jacob before we wrap it up? I know you've had some technical issues there, but I'll unmute you.
No, I got no closing questions at all, to be fair. I think it's been summed up really nicely. I agree with what Jacob's saying. The only person is gonna stop him is himself, because when he's talking, I'm thinking, well, it's 100% going to happen, and that positivity and that fire, I'd say it is it's infectious, to be honest with you, and don't stop for all of our sakes, please.
Yeah. No, I absolutely won't. Absolutely won't. 100%. Unless I got Ben Nevis again with the wrong kit and killed himself by accident. Then
check out Jacob's Instagram. It's there's some good stuff on there now and again. You should have posted that. It was hilarious. That was a private WhatsApp message to me. I think it was on last week's episode. Actually,
I sent you the video, but I was like, I'd almost like genuinely slid off the side of a cliff, like 120 meters elevation. So there was like quite a few swear words in it, and I thought, I can't put this out on my social media.
I've muted Charlie, because you get a load of snowflakes. I've muted Charlie, but for people listening, Charlie's like cackling in the background. But I thought you were right, probably not to post it, because there's so many wokies out there that would have had a full whinge fest about it and called you irresponsible and all the rest of it. But why not do something crazy like that? I thought it was great. It was good banter.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's not the wokies that I was worried about. It was just like it was very like rough. Like I was swearing in it, and I don't like hearing myself swear.
Yeah.
On camera, I think it's bad and unprofessional. But like the fact of the matter is, I was in worn out boots that were basically slits and a pair of jeans, when everyone else coming past us or coming back from the summit had turned around were in like bloody spiky boots, proper full on like ski suits, goggles, and I was just there like Churchill smock, set of jeans, let's go.
Amazing. Right, listen, we're going to close it off there, Jacob. I really appreciate you coming on, and we'll get you on again in a few months' time. We'll get like an update in the summer. It will be fantastic. Thank you everyone for listening. Check out Jacob's website. So just type Lockwood Smocks into Google or go on his Instagram and do the same. Obviously, you've got Charlie from Workwear Innovation. And you've got me, you know where to find me. And comment below if you've got any questions for Jacob. And I'm sure he'll be in the comments, because there's so many comments every week. It'll be amazing for him. He'll be in those hundreds of comments. Yeah, it'll be amazing. Right, over and out. Thank you very much. Cheerio.
God bless. God save the king.